my dear students. I am Dr. Soumya Das, Associate Professor, Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida. So, students, as we know, we are dealing with the subject B.Pharm final year Pharmacovigilance with code BP805 ET. It is an elective subject. So, and very interesting because you already covered with your unit 1 and 2. So, I hope you like this subject because in pharmacology we are dealing with the mechanism and mode of drug action, while in pharmacovigilance we are dealing with the hidden, or we can say its therapeutic risk factors associated with the medicament. So, today we will start the lecture number 14 with the title EudraVigilance. In short, it is EV. Okay, you have to remember because sometimes I have used this EV small abbreviation in our next few slides. EudraVigilance Medicinal Product Dictionary. We already covered about the MedDRA dictionary or the WHO drug dictionary. Apart from that, EV is developed by the European Committee, okay, which is nothing but the EC. So, we will start with this EudraVigilance Medicinal Product Dictionary. Before starting, we have to know what exactly the EudraVigilance. Same as pharmacovigilance students, when we are going to break the large word, pharmacon means drug, vigilance means to keep a eye or to keep a watch on the particular class of drug. Watch on the drug means we have to focus on its both side, good as well as bad, means desirable therapeutic pharmacological effect as well as undesirable unwanted side effect, lethal part of the effect. Same as here also, students, EudraVigilance. Vigilance means we have to be vigilant, okay, vigilant, what is going around us, we have to be vigilant. So, Eudra is the e-dictionary online available on the request format, and it is developed by the European Committee, European Union, so termed as EudraVigilance. So, it is the system for managing and analyzing the drug related information, basically focuses on the suspected adverse drug reactions. You will see here suspected adverse drug reactions, which is not confirmed. It is now a stage of suspected, like from taking this API moiety, the active moiety, we are going to have severe allergic reactions on my skin, or I have fallen my hairs. It is suspected till not now confirmed, like after taking this drug I am having these type of reactions. So, the EudraVigilance, it is the e-based system for managing and analyzing the information on suspected adverse reaction towards the different class of medicines which have been authorized or being studied in clinical trials in the European Economic Area. So, again EEA means European Economic Area. We all know in the drug discovery pathway, when the drug is discovered, it is going to several phases, means it has to pass the in silico trials, then computer based studies, then we have in vitro studies, means in the isolated tissue organs, then we have in vivo studies, preclinical, means inside the animal, intact animals, then the drug, when it is showing good therapeutic effects, the drug is passed and further proceed to the clinical trials. In the clinical trial, we have phase 0, phase 1, phase 2, 3 and 4. Nowadays, there is another inclusion of clinical trial phase 5, which is nothing but the translational research, okay students. And phase 0, I hope you all know, is the micro dosing of the drug, means small dose to check the effectiveness and safety profiling. Okay, then again in the phase 1, we are giving the normal dose as per mg per kg body weight of a human adult as 70 kg per body weight. The effectiveness and the safety profiling of that particular medicament is to be checked in clinical trial phase 1 using healthy human volunteers. Then from the phase 3, we are going to increase the number of population, and here we are going to take the ill volunteers also. Okay, students. So, now coming to the EudraVigilance, here also we are talking about the system E-based system basically focused on the drug, their suspected adverse drug reactions, their reporting, their analysis, the drug which is studied in the clinical trial by the European Economic Area or the European Committee or European Union EU. Okay. The European Medicine Agency, which is the EMA, operates this system, Eudra Vigilance system, on behalf of the European Union, which is EU, and its medicine regulatory network. EudraVigilance is a system for monitoring. Again, vigilance means to keep a watch, to keep regular monitor on the system, monitoring the safety of medicines. Its components facilitate the electronic reporting of suspected adverse reactions, which is related to the medicines, and the effective analysis of the data. Effective analysis of the data means, students, when we have sufficient data of any screening models using clinical trials, okay, now we have to compile the data in our document file. It should be calculated by the use, there is a role of biostatistician is here. The results or the data are now checked biostatistically to get their p value, probability analysis by one way ANOVA, so that we can tell that this class of people is more beneficial who are taking this drug rather than the another group of people. They are more significant in treating their disease, their illness, as compared to the second group or the second class of patients. Okay. So, statistical analysis is also required. This is the effective analysis of data, and this enables the early detection of the potential safety issue. This is very important. So, here you will see the important role played by the EudraVigilance software, which enable the early detection. It will help you to detect, to early get you the idea about the potential, means severe, threatening, life threatening issue after taking the medicament to specific people or the patient, potential safety issue. The system contains different components that perform specific tasks in the process of electronic reporting of suspected adverse drug reaction. So, it is also sometimes known as electronic data capture. So, what is this? EudraVigilance is a EDC system of working, because it is E based. E means electronic data capture. It covers different components that will ultimately perform or work on a specific task provided by the process or in the system as input to get the output or the ultimate outcome or the results for the management of various suspected adverse reactions against a medicament. Now, coming to this is very good flow chart. You have a detailed reference written below. Please go through this bottom link for its detailed information how EudraVigilance system works. So, students, there is a key point which will tell you about the change in color, about at which step the data will be collected from the patients in the clinical different phases of clinical trial. Then we have data management system. After the data will be managed, the next procedure is to data will be analyzed by the role of various biostatistician, mathematician, engineers or physician will sit together and they will compile the or do the successful data analysis. After that, we have standard terminologies and the security management, because during a clinical trial we all know individual security and the information should not be leaked out. It should be maintained properly for individual to individual. Now, coming to this diagram, EudraVigilance web reporting application. In short, it is known as EVWEB. EV stands for EudraVigilance web. Web means it is the e-learning system. So, it includes ICSR First step is the creation of ICSR. ICSR is the individual case safety reporting. After the creation of their file, individual case file, the file is submitted by this EudraVigilance website, and after that the queries will came up in this e-system EudraVigilance. MAH-ICR is downloaded in the form of EVPM. So, students, MAH here is the marketing authorization holder, and ICSR, you know, individual case safety report. They download this form, and next step is the NCA ICSR rerouting. NCA stands for the National Competent Authorities of various country based. They will reroute the individual case safety report for the further analysis, monitoring and detection of suspected adverse drug reactions. Now, coming to this green box, EudraVigilance Database Management System, in short EVDBMS. EV mane EudraVigilance. DBMS is the Database Management System. EudraVigilance Post Authorization Module, EVPM, while the second one is the EudraVigilance Clinical Trial Module, EVCTM. Okay. So, EVPM and EVCTM are working in favor of EudraVigilance Gateway, which is the EV Gateway, and they will record the data and they will also prevent the duplicate detection. So, there will be the saving of time and no duplicate report generation will be there. After that, their next step is the extraction, transformation and the loading of or the mapping of information can be done by the ETL monitoring system. After that, EudraVigilance Data Warehouse and Analysis System, which is nothing but the EVDAS system. It will helpful in the signal detection. So, student, I hope you know about what is signal. Signal is sometimes also known as a score or a statistics. When a patient is taking any medicine prescribed by the physician for their disease or disorder, the patient now go to report about after taking the drug I am feeling such type of adverse drug reaction or adverse drug event. So, if it is greater than 1 on the same class of drug, the signal will be generated. Okay. So, there is a signal generation which is ultimately detected by the EVDAS, means EudraVigilance Data Warehouse and Analysis System. After that, the signal detection is detected, the data analysis starts their work. European database of suspected adverse drug reaction reports can be done by the URL web link. You will have the information from ADR reports.eu. EU is the European Union. Okay, students. So, this is all about the system EudraVigilance, how it works, its overview. MEDRA and standardized terminology can be used. Medicinal products according to ART. ART is the adverse reaction terminologies. 57 database are there, which is there in the format of XEV MPD. Then EudraVigilance organization and their user management. The proper guide written PDF file is there when you are going to click or to go for the learning of how E-based EudraVigilance system is working for the analysis of suspected adverse drug reaction terminology. Now, coming to its working, we have different pathway or the steps in their working. More information on EudraVigilance EV and how to interact with the E-based EudraVigilance system. So, first we have to go for their registration on the URL provided, and then we have to report. What we have to report? The class of drug, the API moiety I am going to take, and after taking that particular drug, what different ADR, ADE I am supposed to have in my body or internally. Okay. So, this reporting should be done to the clinical pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, to my healthcare providers, to PV executive members also you can report your ADR or side effects, or you can also go and directly report to the your physician. Okay. So, registration and reporting. After that, now the data is fed on the system having EudraVigilance software in that. The EudraVigilance system now gets activated after registration. There is proper user ID and password you will get. So, how to register? First is there is sign in and sign up system is there. Everyone can go and search through simple Google surfing engine. And the second step is the study to know about how EudraVigilance system overview, which is nothing but we have seen in our previous slide. You can again revise this slide for the proper working of the software, based software EudraVigilance. Okay, students. Now, we know it is the based software database. So, we have to input or feed my data in the electronic reporting format in the EudraVigilance software. After that, what will happen? The EudraVigilance change management means now your step is going towards in the forward direction, and there is the involvement of people who are working or trained or skilled in the EudraVigilance software. They manage your data, they analyze the type of side effects, suspected adverse effects, either it may be related with the pharmacology of the drug API you are taken, okay, or not. Then next step is to assess the EudraVigilance data. After management of adverse drug reactions, the data is the next step is the assessment of data. Assessment means how we can calculate and get the detailed idea how it can be managed. The patient health can be regained after the whether we can stop the particular treatment or we can change the salt of the drug. Okay. So, to assess the EudraVigilance data, then after that in the last we have EudraVigilance. There is an option whether if anyone interested to work in this field, any pharmacist or any student or any interested candidate, they can go for the EudraVigilance training free of cost also, and security principles and responsibilities are also coded there in the slide of EudraVigilance electronic data capture or web based learning system. Now, coming to the analysis and release of data. EMA is the European Medicine Agency, and national competent authorities are responsible for regularly reviewing and regularly analyzing the EudraVigilance data for the detection of safety signals. The Pharmacovigilance Risk Assessment Committee, which is in short known as PRAC, Pharmacovigilance Risk Assessment Committee, after that evaluates the safety signals which is detected by the software EudraVigilance, and it may recommended by the regulatory authorities to take proper action as a further result. European Medicine Agency EMA also publishes the annual report, and further they will provide a summary of the EudraVigilance related activities. The agency undertakes within the European medicines regulatory network along with the various stakeholders who are directly or indirectly involved with the EudraVigilance based software working. Now, coming to the EudraVigilance gateway, or in short known as EV gateway. Gateway means how you can get entry in this database software. It supports the electronic data interchange, which is EDI process, and it is based on the secure electronic exchange of data safety messages between a sender and a receiver. The safety messages can contain individual case safety report. Okay, that is ICSR reporting is done by electronic data capture method. An acknowledgement message confirms the receipt and the outcome of the validation of a safety message, and this completes the EDI process. EDI is the electronic data interchange. Now coming to the EudraVigilance web application. We all know it is the or the data capture web based application. So, it is in short known as EVWEB. It is the interface to the EudraVigilance database management system, in short EDBMS, and this allows registered user to create, to send and also to view, to recap their ICSR, which is the individual case safety reports, their safety signals and acknowledgement messages. EVWEB also enables users to perform various EudraVigilance based queries. EVWEB web functionality allows marketing authorization holders to further download, they can download or export their reports ICSR formats from EudraVigilance for active substances which contained in a medicinal product for which they hold a marketing authorization in the European Economic Area, which is EEA. EudraVigilance DBMS, database management system, it also supports the processing and administration of safety and acknowledgement messages along with the ICSR. It includes the post-marketing post-authorization module, which is EVPM, and which is dedicated to the collection of ICSR related to all medicinal products, which is authorized by the EEA, European Economic Area. The following ICSR type are collected in EVPM. EVPM is the EudraVigilance post authorization module. Spontaneous reporting, report from the study and study type, individual patient use and any other study, okay, not available to the sender or unknown. See this, the following ICSR types are collected in EVPM, like spontaneous report, first, second is report from study, third study type, fourth individual patient use, fifth is the other studies which is not available to the sender, means we have to keep unknown, not telling all detailed information to the sender. EudraVigilance clinical trial module, which is EVCTM, dedicated to the collection of ICSR of suspected, unexpected, serious ADR, suspected, unexpected ADR in short. The following ICSR types are collected in EVCTM, which reports from the study with study type known as the clinical trials. Now, after management, we are having analysis system, EudraVigilance data analysis system, EVDAS. It supports the European Union pharmacovigilance safety monitoring activities with the main focus on signal detection and the evaluation of ICSR reports. EVDAS includes a measure of disproportionality, which in the reporting odd ratio. So, you have to know what is ROR, it is the reporting odd ratio, means out of how many side effects, adverse reaction, reporting odd one out, like. So, same type of adverse reaction reported by how many people. EVDAS outputs in relation to the pharmacovigilance include electronic reaction monitoring report, small ERMR, line listening of individual cases of suspected adverse reactions and individual case report forms. Okay. So, this is all about the software electronic database management system, that is EudraVigilance. So, students, we have learned about 3 dictionaries, MedDRA, web based WHO web dictionary and EudraVigilance for the reporting and analysis of pharmacovigilance based studies. So, see you in our next lecture. Bye bye.